everyone, it is I, the County Cup Series, and welcome back to another episode of Recap Races, episode 3 for the 2025 County Cup Series season. We were recapping races 6 to 11 this time round, and not really interesting. We got 2 short tracks in Mansfield and Bristol, 1 intermediate in Gateland, which, do I even count in Gateland as an intermediate? I guess I do. 1 road course in the inaugural race at Canadian Tire, also 2 international races this in the first 10 races. The only 2 international races this year, though. They won't go anywhere else apart from America afterwards. And wants to be raced in good old Talladega, which had a lot of stuff go its way. A lot of interesting stuff for the good and also for the bad. Anyways, let's enter race number 6 already. So starting first off at race 6 at Martinsville for the first of 2 races, thankfully, this year, since the full race finally came back after 1 year absence due to Olympic rescheduling, but whatever. Courtney Wright ended up winning this race, her first win of the season, and finally winning at Martinsville after so long. Seriously. Courtney Wright never won at Martinsville, only won a few years ago back at Atlanta, and then Kansas, and then last year at Darlington. 4th career winner, I know, so yeah. Also, full sport back to Vic Lane for the first time since 2023 in the Bristol Night Race when Blake Evans won that race. So it's been a while since full sport won a race, but the back to Victory Lane they go, so that's good. Hopefully that's shine for right direction. Hopefully that's the sign putting this team in the right direction heading forward. Anyway, speaking of Courtney, she and Martinsville just never got along. Every time we came to Martinsville back then, Courtney would always have a fast car, but yet always on the late race restart, she would always get passed by some other driver and take the win away from her. Not this time. Ashton Jackson, who was kind of a menace this race, spin out 3 cars, trying to do his best Sam Smith impression, was leading, but Courtney Wright ran him down at the end and passed him for eventually the win, so Jackson will come out run up in second after dumping Jacob Hughes and Lewis Braylett, who actually DNF'd this race, tiebreak for Braylett. And also decided to spin out Ethan Hudd as well. I don't know what Ashton Jackson had out for Joda, let alone Joe Gibbs, but I guess he wanted to dump people, I guess so. And look at that, Karma Shrine back, finished P2. Like they always say, if you dump people, you can't get wins. Actually, I don't think anyone says that, but whatever. As for everyone else, Gracie Jackson comes in 3rd. Usual short track. She usually does go these tracks for racetrack. Jake Hodgkiss finally got a good race in Atlanta with a 4th place. A much needed 4th place finish for him after what has been a horrendous start to the season for him and RFK as a whole. So good to see him get a top 5 here. Let me 4th. Chelsea Down rounds at top 5 and 5th. Alfie Cox 6th. Megan Bell 7th. Albert Prescott 8th. Lewis Goodrun, one of those good runs from him in front row, coming home 9th. And Cameron Perkins, who actually spun out early this race. Yeah, good recovery, finishing top 10, so good for him. You can see everyone else down there, Xander Padfield, Ryan Wilson. How he still can't get down to the top 10, I do not know. Jay Douglas, shout out to him, finishes P17. That's a pretty good run. He usually go these short tracks, so he ran pretty good here for Lexi Mokla in that 43 car last year. So it's surprised to see him running top 20 for the Hot Factory team. Someone did more than Cole Custer. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. A couple drivers did struggle this race. Jason McKenzie was just not really quick. Freddie H. Lama wasn't really quick either. Abigail Penland got spun at the last course when she got spun around. Didn't really recover very well, finished 23rd. Megan Wright also kind of struggled. I would have thought she'd at least have maybe a top 20 run. Comes out 24th, unfortunately. Not a good run for her. Olivia Zaxton, first car, 1 lap down. Again, decently at the short tracks. Not good this time. Finishing 25th, 1 lap down. Edwin Howes just... Do I even need to talk about Edwin Howes? She's just terrible at this point. 26th. Jen Rayleigh, 28th. Jeez. Lewis Norman. 1 RFK car at least got top 10. The other one is a lap down in 28th. Yikes. And you can see the rest of the field down there. Just usual guys. You kind of just run at the back of the field usually. Sophie Buckingham, I won't mention her though. She did blow her tire for turn 1 that made her DNF. So top road throw. Hit driver's side as well. Thankfully she was right. It wasn't like a too hard of a hit, but she got under the car. She was fine. So thumbs up there. So that's pretty much Jeremy's recap from Martinsville. On to race number 7. Sorry, I mean race number 8. I see, this is what happens when there's now 37 races now in the season. You're going to get mixed up about what race it is. Thankfully, I'm keeping up. Anyways, race number 8 on the season took us the inaugural race at Canadian Tire. Yes, the first time any of the NASCAR division had come to Canadian Tire since 2019 for the Truck Series. That one was won by Brett Moffitt, so... Kind of Capsule gets to shine here now, and this race was very entertaining. At the end, it got very entertaining. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's talk about your race winner, Riley Pope. Yeah, Riley Pope, Team Amerivet, won something. I can't believe it. Now, yes, Riley Pope, he is really good at road courses. You've seen it in the past. His first 2 wins have come at road courses. Charlotte Roval 2020, 2022 at Dakota when he dumped down the path to get the win. But hey, win's a win, I guess. This one he kind of backed into. And when late race restarts, it was on the pad for Nelson Prescott in the filthy green. However, Evie Williams decided to do her best Bordeaux impression and kind of shoved Xander out wide. Also going to Alistair, who shoved him out wide. He fell back to the 16th. Jeez, he fell back a ton. Poor Alistair. Anyways, it was Sliver Stage for race leads and the pad field. Evie Williams going into the one of the corners, and I believe it was turn 5. Evie locked it up and got into Xander. Opened the inside lane wide open for Riley Pope just to sneak on by and take the lead away from both of them and eventually go on to win the race. Evie did put one last pressure on him at the end, tried it in the final corner, got to the back bomb and made him go up wide. Got to his inside, but it just wasn't enough. Willis, Pope held him off for the win. So, congrats to Riley Willis. Riley Pope. Very impressive run for this 50 team. A much needed win for this team. Who would have thought Team America and Riley Pope would get a win before any of Team Penske would this year? Yeah, I know, it's mind-boggling, I know. Evie Williams comes home P2. Still can't win a race. Also, second race in a row, she's also finished second at a road course. Are we starting to see a trend here? Alfie Cox third. Megan Rutt, I have absolutely no clue how she got to 4th, but alas, she got to 4th. Her first top 5 in... Actually, her first top 5 in ages. Jeez, it's been ages since Megan Rutt's had a top 5, so... Hey, props to her. Ashley Abrams top 5 and 5th. Brady Lama, a good run for him at road course, coming in 6th. Cameron Perkins 7th. Anna Padfield kind of fell back to 8th back then. At least he wasn't as worse as Alistair. Grace Jackson finally picks up her first top 10 at a road course, and ran at top 10 is Abigail Pentland. And then other drivers behind them, Chelsea Liddell 11th, Alfie Lyons doing his best road course pressure, ran top 10 most days, but kind of fell outside top 10 at the end and finished 12th. Peggy Bishop, Courtney Wright kind of struggled for his 14th. Jake Hodgkin has no top 15 run. Any of the other drivers just you kind of followed behind. Thomas Kent though ran at top 20 in 20th. Ashton Jackson, not a good run for Ashton. Man, Palmer is really striking this time around. Finishes 21st. Ethan Hyde just struggles at road courses entirely, coming in 25th, 23rd. And everyone else you can kind of see also struggle this race. Ryan Wilson, I should mention him on the last race, so he did get dumped in that same corner by Maisie Sparks. Plummeting back to 32nd. Man, this man just cannot catch a break this year, can't he? And then as you can see, a lot of drivers leading at this race. Why? Well, for a few instances. One, Corey Arridge, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his last name right. He was the original one who brought out the caution stage 2. Lost it in one of the corners, slammed to the tie burn, and in his day. Late race caution for Ashton Hicks, he blew an engine. Luke Ford all over the racetrack, bringing out caution. And then Lewis Norman got dumped on one of the restarts in the corners and caused a multi-car pilot, which took out Megan Bell. Barry, unfortunately, top rate for her, usually go these road courses. James McKenzie, Lewis Goodrum, and Lewis Braylett and Millie Boyles all got taken out on that one. A couple of drivers to get involved in that wreck too, like Lewis Collins got a piece of it as well, along with Ethan Hard. That's why he was at the back. He got a piece of it. Huh. But yeah, top rate for a lot of those drivers, but especially Megan Bell. Just not had a good start to the year either. Lewis Braylett bats back DNS. Goodrum gets his first DNF of the year. McKenzie struggling. Just not good run for some of these drivers at all today. So, a race to forget. Now, does beg the question, does Canadian Tire stay on the schedule for another year? Honestly, the race is pretty entertaining, so honestly, I don't see why the Canadian Tire can't come back for 2026. Schedule it isn't, obviously the schedule won't be announced probably until like later on this year, so Canadian Tire is maybe rumored to come back next year, which I'm hoping it was, so thumbs up to that. Anyways, on to race number 9. Race 9 took us to Bristol, baby! And this one was, it was entertaining. Way better than the Cup race. Way better than Xfinity. Trucks, a little bit more better than trucks, to be fair. Ryan Wilkinson picks his second win of the season. How does he already have 2 wins this year? The inconsistency of Ryan Wilkinson continues. One race he does terrible, the next race he does good. I don't get it. But hey, it's a short track, so hey, good for him. He usually does good in these short tracks, so... Again, please, this better be a path for the right direction for Wilkinson, because he has struggled to even find consistent speed this year. I mean, second win of the year, good for him, but what's it going to make? What's it going to do? I will say, he did dominate this whole race. He led like over 200 laps, so no brainer he was going to win the race. He was dominant the entire day. Maisie Sparks comes home second after some kind of outside top 15 runs. Good to see her finish second. Gracie Jackson, it's a short track, can have a podium in third. Jacob Hughes tried to run for him in 4th. Ethan Hard, finally a good run for him in 5th. Peggy Bishop 6th, Freddie Lama 7th. James McKenzie finally got a good run in at last in 8th. Ashley Hickman 9th, and Ashley Prescott ran to top 10 in the 10th position. And the other drivers behind them, Lewis Norman finally got a good run in at last in 12th. See, he does have something. He just gets caught up in some of the stupidest things ever. He just gets caught up in someone else's mess every time. Hate it for him. Lewis Goodwin 13th, Megan Bell still 14th. Cameron Perkins struggled this race surprisingly in 15th. Not a good run for Perkins. And then Lewis Braille also trying to struggle. Jalen Dugsley also got another top 20 at road course in 18th. Abigail Penland also struggled in 19th, and Megan Rance got top 20 in 20th. Chelsea Liddell also struggled 21st. Alfie Cosford a lap down this race, finished 23rd. Jake Hodgkiss, how? It's a short track. You should be doing these good at short tracks, buddy. How do you finish 26th? Oh, Jesus. Then again, it could have been worse. You could have been the guys who DNF'd this race. I should get to that now. I should get to the drivers who DNF'd. So, Harley Bennett was the first one who DNF'd. Got loose underneath Evie Williams on the back straight away, slammed the inside wall, ended his day. And then Evie Williams got karma strike back from her when she, it wasn't this one. It wasn't her fault. She and Megan Bell in hard position off 4. Megan tried to get behind Evie off 4. It wasn't clear and got into Evie. She slammed the inside wall, came back right in front of the field, and unfortunately, poor Courtney Wright had nowhere to go, and she's torn the front of her car off. Olivia Zaxton had nowhere to go, piling there too. Top rate for Olivia, had a good run going in this race. Good top 15 run for her, but unfortunately that was a day ended for her, so top rate for Olivia. Evie Williams also picks up another DNF. Eve's had a really good start this year, hasn't she? She's had a few DNFs go away. Ouch. And then Xander Perfect also wrecked out as well. He got dumped in turn 3 by someone. I can't remember who, but he got dumped in that corner by someone, so top of Xander Padfield. Draghi would have done really good, honestly. He usually does good at these. He usually does good at Bristol, so I would have thought he'd do good this race. And he did, until he got dumped, so wow. And that's about it for Bristol, to be fair. Not much to say. The short track package wasn't great. The track still had its problems, but the race was still solid at best. But yeah, maybe Bristol needs to change something out because the racing still wasn't as Bristol was back then. So just throwing out there. Moving on to race number 10. Race number 10 took us to our second and final international race this year at Gateland. Yay! The championship race last year is the 10th race this year. I don't know how that worked, but it works that way. And Cameron Perkins wins. Yeah, this race was dominated by him. Like, it was legitimately dominated by him. Started second and led flag to flag. It wasn't a contest. Chelsea Liddell finished second in this race. Did give him some challenges on the short runs, but in the long runs, Perkins was gone. He was going the long runs. Though I will say this is Perkins' first win at Gateland. Never won at Gateland before, so nice seeing him get back to finally win a race at Gateland. He's always wanted to win here, so hey, if he wants to ever win here, good for him. That's one of the races he wanted to win for ages now, so he did it in very dominant style, so good for him. So if you thought he was struggling last race from Bristol, he comes back to this race and he just dominates. Shows that he's still the driver to beat this year. Well, maybe. We'll have to look at the points in a minute. Peggy Bishop comes home third. I believe it's also the first time since 2019 that Cameron, Chelsea, and Peggy have finished first, second, and third in a race since the 2019 Daytona 100. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since these two have finished 1, 2, 3. Kind of a little old stuff going, a little retro throwback there. That's nice to see. Freddie Lama is showing a lot of potential this year. Finishing 4th. He's had some good races go his way recently. Ethan Hunt 5th, Ashley Hickman 6th, Macy's Buck 7th, Gracie Jackson 8th. Xander Padfield, hey, good for him, finished 9th. That's a surprising run there. And Millie Boyles continues to have random good runs at intermediate, finishing top 10. Good for her. Everyone else down low, Ryan Wilson, of course. The momentum doesn't continue into Gateland, of course. Why wasn't it? Prescott 13th, Evie Williams 14th. Eric Bradley had a decent run in 15th, something that she needs at this point. Olivia Zaxton finished 18th, good for her. Olivia Braylor's just been struggling. I don't know what's up with Braylor, but he's been struggling last few races. Jay Cosby ran top 20th. And after a bad run, James McKenzie went back to struggling again, 22nd. Courtney Wright struggled big time this race, finished in 23rd. Lewis Goodrum, he can never do good at intermediate for some reason, finished at 27th. Megan Wright also struggled badly this race, also in 28th, unfortunately, so top of for there. And then a few DNFs that happened this race. The biggest one of the day was Ashton Jackson and Alfie Lyons. Battle in hard position with Maisie Sparks. Alfie got loose in the back straight, slammed into the outside wall, kind of bounced off it, and then Alfie bounced off it to the inside went, and Alfie Lyons had nowhere to go, slams the side of him, he spun to the inside, slammed the inside wall, ended his day. So top rate for both drivers. Alfie Koch has some sort of mechanical issue go his way during stage 3, so he was taken out of the race. And then a late race caution where, for some reason, Ryan Cook thought he was clear on Madison and Capel. He was not, and they both slammed the outside wall coming on 4. Ended Ryan Cook's day, unfortunately. He has not had a good start to the year, though. He's had a horrendous start to the year. Managing Pro did continue on, though, 4 laps down. She beat Liam Hickman, who finally qualified for a race at last. He was 5 laps down for 9th. Save it as you will. Say it as you will. And that's about it from Gateland. Not really much to say. Perkins just dominated this race. Now onto the next race, which, oh boy, do I have stuff to say about next race. And finally, the final race, race number 11, took us to good old Talladega, Alabama. And, yeah, a lot of stuff happened this race. You can just tell by the DNFs. 21 cars finished this race, and only 17 of them finished on lead lap. Though I will say that was at the end of the race. Not earlier on, but let's just talk about it. So, the racing product. Everyone's fair coming into this race. How was the racing product going to be? Obviously, Daytona was a pretty solid race. Obviously, had a good four-way finish at the end. Ended in a tie between Peggy and Lewis. Lewis Goodrum. But people are kind of worried if we're going to see that 2x2 racing next gen cars. We're already known for these types of tracks, especially Talladega. No, quite the opposite happened. We were 3 wide, yes, and apparently 2-car tandems were back. Yeah, here's how it works. So basically, the 2 cars can get a run off any corners, and can just draft off and just do a 2-car tandem and just pass a lot of drivers. It can work for a couple miles, and then it will just for a couple seconds, and then obviously the car behind would have to drag off, and the pack would quickly catch back up to them immediately afterwards. Yeah, these cars aren't the Gen 5 cars back then. We still have that issue, but honestly, surprising. It was kind of a nice to see some 2-car tandems kind of rebirthing. There was quite a few of them, and the racing itself was phenomenal. We had, I swear, every lap, the lead was changing every lap. Every single lap, we had a new leader. One lap, it would be Megan Bell. Next lap would be Ryan Wilkinson. And then the next lap, maybe Cameron Perkins gets up there. Okay, Perkins was kind of up there, and then Perkins was at the back of the field the entire race. Look, some drivers did bail out and stay at the back, like our Perkins. Lewis Collins stayed kind of at the back a few times. Bradley Pope stayed at the back. You know, some drivers decided to play it clean and stay at the back of the field and all that. Yeah. Alright, onto the DNFs. Freightliner was the first one to bite the dust in Stage 3. All these wrecks happen in Stage 3, by the way. Megan Bell gave Freddie a bad bump drive down the back straightaway, slammed into the outside wall. Surprisingly, only a 1-cut incident, though it did take Freddie out of the race, so top rate for Freddie. Another big incident on the first straightaway. 2-car tandem working between Evie and Gracie, while at the same time, Ryan Wilson was leading the inside lane. Bad bump drive going from behind, I believe, by Matey Sparks. Turn Ryan in, head on into the outside wall into turn 1. Like, it was a head-on shot into the outside wall, very similar to Eric Jones's crash last year. Lewis Goodman had nowhere to go, climbed into there. Jalen Dougherty's car also had nowhere to go, slammed right into the side of Ryan, passenger side. Thankfully, car did stay on fire as well, but he climbed that car. He was alright. Fire also did extinguish itself as well, so thank goodness. Abigail Penland also involved in the wreck as well, and in the last second, Courtney Wright got clipped and slammed out the wall up in turns between turns 1 and 2 as well. So all those cars taken out. Ryan Wilson though, maybe Perez from a bit. He was complaining about a back injury after that wreck, which I wouldn't blame because that was like a head-on shot into the outside wall. Do not blame the next gen car. This is not next gen car's fault. It could happen in any kind of generation. Do not blame it. So it's kind of unknown to race next week at COTA, so we'll have to see. Nothing's been announced yet. Interviews this day was to be determined, so we'll have to see. And then the big one struck. Dom Hawkins. Yeah, remember Dom? Yeah, he was leading the race. And then had another bad bump draft gone wrong by Lewis Braille. That was normal with these tracks, just bad bump drafts gone wrong. He got turned into Ashton Jackson and Ethan Hunt on the inside, and it was just on from there. Like, I can name all the cars who actually missed the wreck compared to the cars who actually made it into the wreck. How bad was this crash? Well, so bad it sent Ashton Jackson up into the air on top of several race cars, then barreled at least an extra 5 other times before landing wheels up on the back straightaway. Yeah, it kind of similar to Taylor Grace crash in the truck race at Daytona last year. Only this time, Jackson decided to go at least 5 more times barrel rolling. Just throw it out there. By some miracle, after getting that car back and off the wheels, Jackson climbed the race car and he was okay. He was laughing about in his post-race interview, so hey, good for him. Anyways, on the final restart, which was in overtime with 2 to go, everyone's favourite in overtime, it was Lewis Braylor who somehow managed to sneak his way on the outside lane, somehow managed to make the wreck. Was leading, comes to white flag, we had like a few cars behind, a few underdogs, surprisingly, Millie Boyles, Sophie Buckingham, Connor Little, Cody Butler, Riley Willis, all randomly up front. Down the back straight, 2-car tandem working between Sophie and Connor. Connor going to turn 3. Then they kind of got locked. They drafted back into the main pack. Off of 4, third lane's breaking up between James McKenzie. He dives to the bombs to the inside. Sophie has no time to block him. That side like comes to the line, and out of complete nowhere, Evie Williams with another 2 contending from Cameron Perkins somehow rides the outside lane and pulls off in a 3-way finish between James and Sophie. Pulls off on the outside lane to pick up her first win of the season, her first win out of Super Speedway. Margin of victory was 0.009, so 9/1000 of a second, Evie beats James McKenzie at the line. Pretty close, but unfortunately, James finishes P2. Heartbreaking. Still can't get that first career win, but this is the closest he's ever been to win a race. 9/1000 of a second, he nearly won this race. 9/1000s. So close, but yet so far. It's heartbreak for James. As always, he's showing a lot of potential though, which is good for him. Sophie Buckingham also heartbreaking for her. Nearly won this race, so close, but unfortunately couldn't block in time. Got out to too big of a lead, and the pack kind of just caught back up to her. Unfortunately, she finishes third. Cameron Perkins, how does he keep doing this? How does he keep finding his way into the top 5 in these races? Anyway, every time he runs at the back, and then after like big race strike, he always finds his way into the top 10 and in the top 5. How he does this, I do not know. That's how good he is at these races. And even then, he just kind of runs at the back half the time. Like, come on. And then Connor Little somehow got a top 5 this race. Shout out to Connor. Both legacy cars got top 5s this race. That is something that they can't even do in the Cup right now. Well, maybe the 500, but that's besides the point. That's with Jamie Johnson. But both are full-time cars, let's say. Lewis Braylett finally got a good finish from in 6. Grace Jackson somehow bounced back after that. Actually also spin on that Ryan Wilson wreck. Shibakata finished 7th. Cody Butler, shout out to him, finished P8. Really good run for Cody Butler. I think that's his first top 10 since his win in 2022. It's been ages since Butler finished top 10. Shout out to him, finally got a good finish in them. Millie Boyles 9th, and then Ellen Howard finally got her first top 10 of the year in 10th. Yeah, it took until race 11 to finally get her first top 10. That's just how bad she's been this year. And another finishers, Katie Bowers, shout out to her, finished 11th for Rick Ware Racing. Riley Pope 12th, Willis 13th, Thomas Kennett 14th, Lewis Collins 15th. Those were like the only cars that missed the wreck. Like, yeah, actually, Evie Williams also got involved in that big crash as well, but didn't have bad damage, so she continued on. And then winning the race. After starting the back with 2 laps, she went from like, 15th to 1st? Jesus me. Megan Rupp, Jake Hodgkiss, they also got involved in that big crash as well, kind of off the pack at the end, finished 16th to 17th, and then 18th on back, they all went a lap down. Ashley, Gemma, Olivia, Xana all finished a lap down. Finished the race, but they finished a lap down though. And then everyone else, Lewis Domin to Freddie or DNF, unfortunately. Just a lot of bad runs for a lot of drivers. Promising Day ended in, well, torn up race cars. It's normal these types of racetracks. Something I'm getting sick of tired of these Talladega races on is that every time we always have to top at least half the field. It's starting to become a norm. Happened last year as well. So maybe we can finish one of these Talladega races cleanly. Maybe. Oh yeah, these are the County Cup guys. They don't finish cleanly. Of course. And here are your point stands after the next 11 races after the first 11 races of the season. Surprisingly, not much really has changed. Cameron Perkins is still the points leader. I think that's the first time in this series. The points leader from the last episode is still the points leader this episode. Interesting. Grace Jackson, though, is still second in points as well. And those two have actually gained a lot of points on the over third place at Ashton Hickman. Got over a 50-point lead. Like, jeez. I know we're trying to show off here, but I know those two have been good, but not that good. Jesus me. They've been pretty good this year. Also, Perkins only gained 2 points in Gracie. Gracie is still right behind him. Like, right there, so keep your eyes on those two. They're looking to be the championship favourites this year. Ashton moves up to 3rd in points, Macy Sparks 4th, Peggy Bishop ranked top 5 and 5th, Evie Williams, after winning Talladega, is up to 6th. Adam Prescott, defending champ, is 7th in points, doing alright. James McKenzie, shout out to him, he's had a pretty good start here, he's still 8th in points, he's still up there. Jacob Hughes 9th, and then Courtney Rice, she's got a lot of positions, down to 10th in points. She's got a lot of work to do after some not so great races recently, so fingers crossed Forcewell can get them momentum back rolling again, because they need it. And then Freddie Lamar, 11th. Charles Liddell and Ethan Howard moved up for you, but positions up to 12th and 13th. Padfield 14th. Alfie Cox dropped a bit to 15th. Ellis Braylett's dropped a lot to 16th. He's got a lot of work to catch back up to the Rookie of the Year contender and Freddie. Abigail 17th. Ashton Jackson, after those back, but Dina falling back to 18th in points. And then the other side of the page, I like to call this just 19th to 36th. I like to call it the bad side of things. The driver of doing kind of bad this year. Ryan Wilson, after he's still in 2 races, still 19th in points. He may have a few positions, but obviously not had a good start to the year. And obviously now with the rumours that he might not race next week due to a back injury, it's kind of if he'll fall back in points more. Hopefully he doesn't, because that's the last thing he needs right now. Megan Bell's also struggling as well this year. She's currently 20th in points. She's the third best team penalty car. I mean, at least she passed Alfie Lyons, which is something, I guess. Megan Ross had a pretty strong start to the year, though. She's up 21st in points. Lewis Goodwin on the bad side, though. He's up 23rd in points, unfortunately. That was kind of expected. I didn't really expect Lewis to really stay near the front of the top 10, or around the top 10. I expected him to fall back, but unfortunately, he drops 23rd in points, top right for him. Then you like one short track race coming up in North Wilkesboro, so maybe start doing better intermediates. Just throwing it out there. Jake Hodgkiss up 25th in points. I mean, he's still kind of struggling, but he's done a little bit better than he did last time. Ellen Howes is still struggling in 28th in points. He shouldn't have moved like 2 positions, but she's still struggling. Riley Pipe should mention him 26th in points. He's still 26th in points after last episode, so nothing really changes there. Lewis Norman, though, 29th in points. He's just had the worst lot so far this year. Hopefully he can turn his luck around, because he does have talent, but he just, every time, he just gets caught up in someone else's mess. I hate it for him, I really do. And then behind them, it's just kind of drivers who kind of run near the back of the field. Like, I don't like Olivia, who's just kind of being on just struggling this year. One other team I do want to talk about though is Red Bull. What is up with Red Bull this year? Like, Ryan Cook is 34th in points just on pure speed. Like, why is he struggling? I should be expecting Ryan Cook to be running in top 20s. No, he's getting like mid 30th place finishes. How? How is he doing this? I do not know. And do not get me started on Dom Hawkins. He has been terrible this year. He hasn't even got 100 points yet. Over 100. That is just how bad Dom Hawkins has been. You thought Cody Butler was bad last year? Nah. At least he's actually done something. He's up to 32nd in points. Dom is last. Like, he's doing terrible. Oh my goodness, please. Look, they also changed the front deck as well from orange to white, and even that hasn't helped them at all with just any kind of speed. Hey, Red Bull, maybe, change management, maybe change some things up in your pit crew. I'm just throwing it out there, guys, just throwing it out there. And that will do it for an episode of Recap Races for the 2025 Kenny Cup season. This was a very interesting last 5 races, but the next 5 races are going to be a lot more interesting. Okay, not more interesting, but we've got some interesting races coming up. We got another road course in Kona next race, and then we got a few intermediates, Kansas, Charlotte, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Kirk 600, that's coming up. That's going to be entertaining races. Charlotte and Kansas always going to be good races. North Wilkesboro moved up a bit due to scheduling, and then Nashville's also moved up as well. That's after Charlotte, so we'll see what happens after that. Anyways, that's it for us at the Kenny Cup Seed. Make sure we'll see you all next time for your next recap race episode. But for now, this is us, the Kenny Cup Series. Sign for now though. So we'll see you all there.